Hello, I am interviewing a new licensee. Her name is Leanna, and I think you'll find this interview fascinating. She has a wonderful background. She is an event planner and has quite a bit of an experience as a business owner. Listen and take her advice and see how she got started and why she's interested in teaching manners to children. Leanna, thank you for your time today, and let's get started. How did you come upon Manners to Go?
Hi, Lisa. I came across Manners to Go from the internet. I was doing a bunch of research when I was interested in finding out more about teaching etiquette, and your website popped up, and out of all the websites, it just resonated with me, and I took a chance.
Oh, great. Well, we're happy to have you and someone of your experience. You made a decision to move forward and you acted on it, which, as you know, as a business owner, sometimes that's quite a step to push that button and say, yes, I'm going to do that. Tell us more. And what helped you make that decision to move forward?
Well, it was something that I was extremely passionate about, and I just kept thinking about it. It was something that was constantly on my mind, and I had kind of voiced it to a few friends and a few family members, and I just thought to myself, I'm talking about it quite often, I'm thinking about it quite often, and I really wanted to act on it.
Good, good. What excites you most about teaching youth manners today?
I think the satisfaction of making a difference in somebody's life.
Mhm.
I feel like etiquette and manners is the same thing as life skills.
Mhm.
And I think it's really important to have solid life skills in today's work environment or social environment. And all the experiences that I've experienced in my life, I feel like passing those, um, you know, life skills down to other younger kids is something that interests me. And again, just the satisfaction of making a difference in someone's life.
Yes, and every generation seems to point fingers at another. And I think that even with today's world and technology, in fact, I was just having this conversation with someone yesterday about conversation skills, and which is one of our most popular topics. And no matter whether it's a 12-year-old or a 25-year-old, that's one of my most requested topics. And also, there's so many teachable moments just in every day. And again, I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and she said I was working with a child and I would ask the child a question, and this was more getting closer to the teenage years, and this particular child was, or teenager, was having a difficult time finding an answer and looking to their parents. And I think, as this should be taught at home, no question, but that kind of thinking is over. I think when you work with children today, whether you're in the medical profession, whether you're a coach, it's a teachable moment for children. And I like that this person said, she said to this teen, tell me, it's important that you tell me how you're feeling or what's going on with you, and not looking to your mother for that answer. So it's a responsibility that I think we have as adults to help this generation along, because it is different. They have technology where some generations have not had that in the past. But it's still important that we have the conversation skills, and the ability to build relationships is very important. Your grandmother was a really big influence in your life, and we've had a conversation about your grandmother, and I really enjoyed that story. Can you share a little bit about the influence and why you had such a close relationship with her?
Well, my grandmother spent the majority of her adulthood in Los Angeles, and she was a seamstress. And my father was raised in Los Angeles, but he had a dream of being a cowboy. So my dad left and went to the country and pursued his dream. And I remember growing up on a ranch with my dad and having to, be in the rodeo and raise lambs for 4-H. And my grandmother would drive up from LA, and she was so elegant and glamorous. And she would make my dresses and, uniforms for showing horses and different things. And I was just remembering always being so, glamorous and fashionable. And it just was something that I loved so much. And being that she was, in Hollywood and so glamorous, that attracted me more so than growing up on a ranch and, being around horses. So with her elegance, it just was something I truly admired. And manners, life skills, being in Los Angeles, I learned those things. And I think as I got older, I just couldn't wait to go back to that and be in that environment. And growing up on the ranch and not living with my mother, I really didn't have a female role model. And there was a woman that taught an etiquette class in our neighborhood, and it interested me, and I took it, and it really resonated. And the things that she taught me lived in me forever, mm-hmm. and helped me to kind of be more of a woman and have those life skills in order to move to Los Angeles and, start my life in LA. So I think a combination of my grandmother and, her elegance, taking this class and, moving to Los Angeles now as an adult, I just want to give back and do something for kids. And I experienced that, and it really resonated.
Great. I love that story. Really popular question. I like this one now. What advice would you give your 21-year-old self?
I think to be closer to my family and, really take advantage of them as a rock, because I just was so excited to be free and explore and travel. Mm-hmm. And I was on my own constantly and not with my family. And I think, if I could give advice to a younger me, would be to stay close to your family, be a little bit more grounded, because you need that support system. Don't try to take on and, do too much thinking everything. Mm-hmm. Slow it down a little bit and, stay connected.
Oh, that's great advice. You're an event planner. And you can have more than one person, but who would you invite to your afternoon tea?
I think I thought about this because originally, my thought was definitely Oprah, because she's such an inspiration, and every time she speaks of different things, it's, just really inspiring and motivating. And I watch Super Soul Sunday. That's like my religious thing, on Sundays. And she has the most amazing people on her show all the time. And one person she had on recently was Brene Brown, and she's an author, and she wrote this book, Daring Greatly, and it was amazing. I, of course, bought the book and started to read it, and it's fabulous. So I would pick her as well. And there's also another motivational speaker, Rachel Hollis. I think she's brilliant.
Yes.
So
she's a long way in a very short time period. Yes, I'm familiar with her.
So I would choose those three: Oprah, Brene Brown, and Rachel Hollis.
Oh, and I hope I can come. I would love to be there. Make sure you send an invite. I'll fly your way.
Yeah. I think I just would be so on cloud nine and just so full of life that nothing could stop me. It just would be such an inspiring afternoon. So
I would love to hear that conversation. Why did you, and I think you've answered this, why did you choose to start a business teaching manners to children? And, it's an opportunity to have an influence on today's youth.
I think having kids, being a mom, I had a very amazing long career. I waited to have children late in life, and being a mom has been the most important job. It's been the most inspiring job. It's something that is near and dear to my heart. And raising my boys and making sure that they're gentlemen and, have the etiquette and manners was something really, really important to me. And seeing their friends come over to the house, and sometimes, when the friends walk in the door and they don't have eye contact, and they're a little afraid to speak with you, this body language was interesting to me. And I thought, how can I give back? There's moms that spend all day in school and do all these different things with their children, and I work full time, but what could I do to give back? And doing the manners class was something I thought, well, that could be a great first step, and maybe doing something where I held a class once a week or on the weekends, and just to see how it goes. So that was my first step. How can I give back, and what could I do to help today's youth?
Great. Well, we're happy to have you. How did you get over the fear or the unknown of starting a business? And that can span.
Honestly, I'm so fearful, and it's so awful because I produced these $1 million events in my career and managed staffs of 200 people on an event sometimes, and I don't have fear, but there's still a lot of fear in me that says, am I going to say the right things? Are they going to be inspired when they walk out of the classroom? Are they going to like me? So I think running the business isn't so fearful. I think it's just making sure that I breathe in faith and breathe out the fear, and not get too caught up in my head that someone's gonna not like what I'm doing, or not understand what I'm doing, or not get it. And in my travels in life, there's been so many times that I've met people and they could be a little harsh with their words because they maybe don't understand it, and they're a little insecure, so they kind of throw this attitude, so to speak, back at you to make you feel a little unsure about yourself. So that I still have that fear, but I think once I get through my first class and really dive deep into it, I think it's going to be like, why did I even think that? It's
right. Yes. Why did you think twice? Yes, it will come naturally for you, I'm sure. You're a busy mom of two. How do you manage?
Honestly, it's delegating, time management, prioritizing, just taking a minute to just kind of take a deep breath, because it can be very overwhelming. And, it's just slowing it down a little bit, getting a clear head and saying, okay. And, breaking it up. We can put this into our schedule today. And so, just basically prioritizing and having that time management.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I know you're very busy. Great advice, and so happy to have you.
Thank you.
For those of you out there listening, stay tuned. We'll have more information as Leanna moves forward in her business and website links get up and live. I will continue to update you on her progress. Thank you, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.